Okay, Coach, you know, the folks in the dog pound, they live for games like this. Snowy conditions here at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns.
Come on, fellas. What is that? 19. 51. Got you. I got you, son. I got you, son. Watch twist. Watch twist. Hey, 31. Time to go.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Check, 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 check. And go.
From the 30 on second down, Watson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
65, 65.
On first down, Watson. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. K1 short in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12.
Cut, cut. Line him, go. Mike 5'9", Mike 5'9". Hey, 59.
Back to throw, Watson. He's going to look deep down the field. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Lorenzo Alexander able to record his 5th sack of the season.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Now a man who really stepped up last year. This is Matt Breida. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Once again, they run with Breida on first down. Tremaine Edmonds, the Bills' leading tackler as a rookie last year, in on the stop there.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10.
Set. 19. 59. Mike to 59. 6 man. Check curls. Check curls. Check curls. 9, go.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Carson, and very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
It's our time. It's our time. Alert 3. Alert 3. Hey, watch it. Watch it. 59.
C.J. Anderson with it. Of course, a big part of the Rams' run to the Super Bowl last year. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. C.J. Anderson with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 1st down, here's Breida. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. On 2nd and 9, Stafford. That's complete to John Ross. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is fielded at the 7. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Browns drive about to get started. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
The Bengals and Browns, this is one of our final few NFL 100 series games. And speaking of series, the 92nd meeting between these two teams. The Bengals holding the 50-41 all-time edge. Last year, the Browns won both games, one in November, then again on December 23rd. And both of these franchises founded by Coach Paul Brown, who, of course, the Browns are named after. But then he would later go downstate to help found the Bengals in May of 1967. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on third down.
He's coming to you. He's coming to you. Motion.
Watson. And a completion to Wilson. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Stafford got his target, Samuel. And now look at him go. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Curtis Samuel, his 9th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On 2nd down, Anderson. C.J. Anderson. He's at the 30, the 20. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. C.J. Anderson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Browns were able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is up to 8. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. To speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Stafford throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for John Ross that time, but now it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be 3rd down and about the length of the football.
Mike 17. Push him back.
They'll run it. Here's Anderson. C.J. Anderson. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. C.J. Anderson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is up to 15 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Bengals drive about to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's Stafford. That'll be complete to Breida. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
32. Watch the safety creep.
Here's Stafford. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. They run forward, Breida. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And this Browns defense stands tall. The Browns drive about to get started. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Star Latulippe busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Watson. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. Parker, the intended target.
58 for Mike, 58 for Mike.
This is Breida. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is. Right,
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That sack by Tremaine Edmonds. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. John Ross with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within one score.
Let's go.
And he's going to be hit and taken down in the backfield. Just nowhere to run that time. And the try for 2 is snuffed out. So the lead is now dwindled to 9 as the kick here is away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now? Those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here. Anything to seize that momentum back.
Check 3, check 3, check 24, check 24.
Hey, 59.
They run it again with Anderson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. 10th carry now for Anderson. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 45 on second down, Watson being chased out left. And now he's going to use his legs. And he goes out of bounds and looks like right at the 50. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced a ball into coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Again, Anderson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. From the gun, here's Watson. And it's caught by Parker. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Devontae Parker, his second touchdown on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Bengals drive about to get going. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop. They run again with Breida. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Ito Smith, his first carry. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be 4th down. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like.
19, 59. Coming to you, coming to you. Kill. He's coming. Double up. He's coming.
24 is down, he's coming.
Switch it. Come on, switch it.
High alert. Down and go.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3-and-out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On 1st down, it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some 1st downs, just as good as running the football. The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Watson now to throw. He can run for it, and he will. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the 1st. So 2 1st downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Now a run with Anderson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 36 yards on the play. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They run it with Carson. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson flushed out right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
3rd down now. It's C.J. Anderson. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call. Here's Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Devontae Parker. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 24. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a bait?
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Another tote here for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Anderson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? They run. Anderson. There he goes inside the 30. C.J. Anderson. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And, all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time, 1 play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action.
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep down. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. Point after, up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Let's go. Do it.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that.
Kill. Hey, turn it up. Slam.
They start the drive with Anderson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Check. 59. Let's set a
59.
Carry number 20 coming up for Anderson. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And now a high kick trying to pin him back. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Just get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just